Hey guys, so I can't say that I am too surprised here, but it seems like the Model 3s and Model Ys have been confirmed that they might not actually be coming with the new Phoenix radars at all, and there is no necessity for it. If you guys had missed the earnings call last week, there were a lot of good questions, a lot of things that people have touched up upon that Elon was supposed to answer. People straight up learned from previous events that if you don't ask the right questions, you're not gonna get these straight answers from Elon. So they went ahead this time around and asked every little thing that an investor as a buyer would be interested in. It was surprisingly straight to the point, everything we needed to know, but unfortunately Elon decided to avoid a lot of these questions and gave us very vague answers to each and every single one of them. Like when the Highland is going to come to North America, he straight up refused to answer this, so we have no idea when it's gonna make its way here. But with all the good questions that was brought up, there was one that Elon did answer, and it was one that was very important to all of us. This is whether the new Phoenix radar, which is in the Model S and X, is going to make its way into hardware 4 of the Model 3s and Model Ys. Now, we didn't get the clearest answer, but he did give us a response which is good enough, I guess, and that is that they are currently testing it in the Model S and X, and if it meets expectation, they are going to bring it to the 3 and Y. Even if it doesn't, then it wouldn't. All of this is dependent on the results of data gathering from these premium vehicles. The Model S and X is not a mass marketed vehicle, so that means that it's not going to be pulling in as much data as it would on the Model 3s and Y. Now, what I got from this is exactly the opposite, and it's pointing at that the radar is not going to be coming to the Model 3s and Ys at all. Why I feel this is because Tesla is stuck up on pricing and productivity. That means that they try to reduce as much parts as possible, and if they were truly about data gathering, wouldn't it make sense that they throw it on the Model 3s and Ys first? These are the vehicles that you would want to test all the new hardware on, and if it doesn't make the cut, they can remove it on the future vehicles. Added to all this, Tesla has always been about pure vision and pure vision alone, so adding a radar to it would not make it pure vision. This adds a lot of complexity and a lot more budget to each one of the vehicles. Multiply this by millions of vehicles, this is how much is going to go out of Tesla's pocket. So if they can technically resolve everything by adding additional cameras, why not? This is pretty much their goal. Then again, there are physical limitations to cameras. One example would be they cannot see underneath the vehicle in front of you like radar would be able to. This was very nice. It meant that the vehicle had more confidence. It can see what was happening above the vehicle in front of you, and that means that it can react a lot quicker. Ever since radar was removed, on the visualization, it just shows an empty spot up to the red light, and it just looks out of place. So if Tesla's approach after the results come in that they do not need the new radar, I don't know how they're gonna surpass this issue and this limitation. If you guys are a hardware or software engineer and you guys have any thought to the results of this, let me know in the comments below. How do you think Tesla could resolve this issue without adding radar, ultrasonic sensors, and all the other types of hardware to the vehicle? My only real thought is that Tesla can just add additional cameras, maybe to the top of the roof and maybe at the bottom lip of the vehicle. This is where they can see the tires of other vehicles in front of the lead vehicle, and maybe the cameras up top can see way above what you can see, and it can do what pretty much the Waymos and the Cruise can do. This is something much cheaper than adding the new Phoenix radar up top there, and it's a lot more user replaceable in terms of pricing. Now, so far in the realms of FSD beta, it seems like it's performing very well and it's improving every single day. We have talked about this time and time again about the physical limitations of the camera placements, but just adding additional camera sensors will fix all of these issues. As Elon has said, the radar is just currently being tested, and it doesn't mean that it's going to make its way into the production of the Model 3s and Ys. And it makes a lot more sense now why Tesla has decided to go with the sub-brand FSD board for the Model 3s and Ys, whereas the Model S and X does have the full-fledged board. If you guys want to know more about this and the differences between the hardware 4 boards, I will drop a link in the description below and up top there. but there is a quite distinction between each one of them. My only really big concern here is that if Tesla does decide that the results come in and they do need the radars in all of these vehicles to function properly with FSD beta, what would they do? Would they essentially just drop these newer vehicles off of the line and not worry about them at all? I only say this because these boards do not have the proper connection, the proper ports, and they don't have the wiring harnesses pre-installed in the vehicle for these to be a plug and play. So it's highly unlikely that Tesla is going to retrofit all of these parts into these vehicles. It's going to be a very long process, very difficult for the technicians to make this happen. So here's my personal take on all this. If you guys were worried about not having radar, don't worry anymore, because I don't think it's going to be the final product. I don't think Tesla is going to need this radar to make the vehicle function properly. You should worry more about the front bumper camera, which was there and then now removed. That is something that would play a big part in FSD beta and the overall experience of Tesla Vision parking. In terms of the Phoenix radar itself, we haven't seen any differences between a car not having it versus car having it. So with everything that I mentioned earlier, I do think this is going to be a flop in the end, and radar is just going to be removed from all vehicles once again, and it's going to purely rely on vision. So yeah, all your doubts shouldn't be there, and if you guys are ready to pick up a brand new Highland or the Model Y or the future Juniper, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned because I will update you guys on everything you need to know. If you guys haven't already done so, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so I can let you know when I push out a new video. At the same time, follow me on Twitter at HeyJohnE. This is where you guys can discuss with me outside of YouTube. I'm a little bit more active on there than on here. Drop me all your questions in the comments below and I'll try to answer all of them. And let me know, is this going to change your buying decision on the new Model 3s and Model Ys? I hope this eases all your concerns about not having this radar inside of your vehicle. You guys are good to go. I'm super excited for people taking deliveries of their new Highlands this week. If this is one of you guys, let us know in the comments below what your thoughts of it are, what your first opinions are. We'd love to hear it. This is John once again. Peace out.